Hi guys, Squall here, back with another Trucking Diaries. If you remember at the end of the last episode, we came to Walbert. We are in Truckee. We are here in Truckee. We actually did a multi-drop last time, if you remember, but in the end, we brought down some goods to Truckee. Just going to have a quick look at the freight market and see what else we can take out of here. Not a lot of choice. There's some water down to Carlsbad, which isn't a bad one, because I quite like that tanker, actually. Or alternatively, we could go to Reno. And there's nothing particularly interesting. At some point, we probably need to do the machine parts. I don't think we've done that one. Could go to Sacramento, but we've got water. Yeah, let's just take this. Let's take some water down to Carlsbad. Oh, if you remember the banking situation, if you remember, we paid off our 100 grand loan, I think it was. So now we've got a 400 left. Daily payments on that are 5,700. Which is not so bad, because if we actually look at what we're doing in terms of driving, we're bringing in 10. These guys are bringing in 3,000 between them. So that's 13,000 a day. Outgoings are 5,700. Let's call it 6, including, you know, repairs and stuff, and fuel. So we're good. We're in a good position. But hopefully they'll start to pick up and do a bit more. We need to turn right here. Let's get on the road. Let's bring up my... Let's leave it on that, on speed. So firstly, I need to apologise for something, because you may have noticed that there have not been many videos. In fact, there have been no videos on the channel for almost a week, which is... Actually, it's about... Is it 5 or 6 days? I'm not sure. Either way, it's pretty terrible. Why? What's happened? What happened, Squirrel? Where's the videos, bro? I got ill, essentially. I got ill on the Sunday. Now, my normal recording days are Monday and Tuesday, and I was just knocked out all the way through them. The main thing is, though, not only was I knocked out, my voice, there's no way I could have recorded with it. Even now, I probably sound pretty nasally, but I was not great, let's put it that way. And my voice was completely gone. My sinuses were wrecked. It was nasty. It wasn't a full-on flu, thankfully. I managed to battle it and beat it. But the problem is like when you record stuff, like when you use your voice, when your profession is built on your voice, you know, and you get something like that, you can't do anything. You can't work. You can't record. You can't stream. You couldn't do anything. So for 3 days, I was completely knocked out. And it was only by the Wednesday that I managed to get my voice back enough to do a stream on Wednesday evening. But by then, all of my recording time had gone for the entire week. So what I did was I sat down and I thought, okay, let's do a... Because Berlin's was talking about doing a shared cockpit flight sim video. And I was like, okay, we've not done a flight sim video for a while. Wow, this thing is long. Look at that. That is cool. What a cool trailer. And the black and white, that really suits it. So yeah, we started at 10 AM on Thursday, doing a shared cockpit, and it all started off nicely. Well, actually, no, it didn't. It took us an hour to get the networking side of it working with shared cockpit. And halfway through the flight, my scenery started to become... Like, you looked out the window and it looked like Minecraft. It was like blurry, blocky, like, what the heck is going on? And then eventually, you looked out the window and it turned into just desert. So I had to restart my P3D, and in order to do that, because we're in shared cockpit, he saved his P3D save file out, and I loaded that back in, and in theory that should work. We all unpause at the same time, it resyncs, off you go. In practice, it was a disaster. Our game crashed, the flight management started to do crazy things. Bottom line is, I spent 5.5 hours on Thursday and achieved nothing whatsoever. No videos, nothing. So, yeah, here I am on Friday morning, sat here, desperately trying to record some footage of something before I head out this afternoon for a social event this evening. It's not been a good week. I will stick my hand up here and say it has been a terrible week. So that's why we've had no footage. It's been a disaster for YouTube. It just happened to coincide with my recording days. Had it coincided with my streaming days, the videos would have been there and the streams wouldn't. But there's nothing I can do when my voice is completely gone. And like I say, even now, my nose... Like, when I get a cold and stuff, it takes about a week, sometimes more, for my sinuses to properly clear out again. So expect me to sound a little bit nasally until then. So I apologise for that, but illness is illness, right? Nothing you can do. So anyway, back in the realm of American Truck Simulator, what's changed? What did they announced something on the blog this week, didn't they? Apart from the wheels and accessories, and then they showed some footage about the Steam Workshop stuff is in beta, right? Yeah, that's it. So the American Truck Sim and European Truck Sim Steam Workshops are being tested right now. You can try it out, I think, if you switch to the beta branch of American Truck or European Truck. It's been a while coming. If you remember when I went down there back in, crikey, February, I think it was, and I came back with the news that they were working on Steam Workshop. I think Pavel was on my stream, and he announced that they were working on Steam Workshop. They finally got it going. Now, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what that's going to mean for the realms of mods, you know? I don't know how many will end up on the Steam Workshop and how many will stay on third-party websites and places like, you know, the download websites. I just don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. But I like Steam Workshop. It's pretty convenient. Subscribing to mods and then the author just changes it and you instantly get an update. None of this digging around for an update. You know, you don't need to dig about on the websites and, oh, you know, Jazzy Cat's updated from 1.1 to 1.2. You can just get an update, which is super convenient. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it pans out. It'll be really interesting. Obviously, it'll affect the world of Eurotruck a lot more because there are many, many, many more mods on Eurotruck than American Truck Sim. But maybe the old guard of European Truck Sim will be like, whoa, we're not using Steam Workshop. Our mods will go on the website. That's the way we've always done it. And maybe the American truck market will be like, because it's quite new, they'll be thinking, hey, this is cool. Let's put everything on the workshop. Who knows, it might lead to a complete difference in experience between European and American Truck Sim. Only time will tell. Not even SCS have any control over that. It's they provide the platform and the tools, and then, you know, the mod authors decide what happens next. I suspect people like Pro Mods will not put them in the workshop. I think they'll probably continue to do what they do with the Pro Mods map. That would be my expectation. But what about SCS themselves? Will we see them produce mods, or will they just continue to do DLC? I don't know. Interesting question. Speed limit 55. Hang on, let me just lock in that cruise control. We have just entered the realms of California highway speed limits. One thing that that Pavel did mention on my American Truck Sim stream, he said they were working on was it DirectX 11 version of this? I think. Because currently this engine, I think, uses DirectX 9. And that's one of the reasons why, although it looks fantastic as a game, it doesn't really utilize your graphics card as well as it should, because it's based on DX9 technology. And if it was DX11, we would see, for example, a lot better aliasing support. If you look in the distance there, can you see those like signs like flickering away? Where you get thin lines being drawn, especially diagonal thin lines, you get what's called aliasing effects. And it's like an artifact effect where you can literally see the step line drawings. You can see them on the lines ahead though. You can see the artifacts. And graphics cards have a number of anti-aliasing techniques. If you're on DX11, then your graphics card will take over a lot of that work for you. And it is much better at anti-aliasing than something like a DX9 platform. So that would be one of the things. But just in general, like the offloading of computation and drawing and textures and all the rest of it on DX11 would be better than 9. So if they can get this thing onto DX11, maybe this year, I'm hoping, we'll all benefit from it. We should... There's no reason why we can't go max detail, you know, 120 FPS in this. There's nothing here that would stop that, really. It just needs to be, the engine just needs to be on that DX11. So my secret wish for this game for this year is, and for Eurotruck as well, is that they can bring it onto DX11. And I think that would also open the door, if they wanted to, further down the line, to push this game onto console. I know there's a massive market on console. I don't know how the mod scene would work on console. I really don't. I have thought about that before. But I do know that if they put this game on console, especially if they can, you know, tie together the multiplayer aspects, or even just play with your friends on Xbox Live or something like this, it would do ridiculously well. It really would. You know, there's no shortage of people with consoles who want to play this game. There really isn't. A lot of people get PCs just to play games like this. You know, they really do. They have no choice. But if you put it on console, it would do ecstatically well. But the engine, currently, no way. You couldn't port this current engine onto consoles. You'd need to move it up to a more recent DX. Look at this Toys R Us trailer. That's so cool. Box trailer Toys R Us. That's got to be Jazzy Cat. Jazzy Cat AI traffic, I reckon. That's actually funny. I remember years ago, before Toys R Us were actually properly in the UK, you had a toy chain called Toy and Hobby. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but they eventually went bust, Toy and Hobby. Whether they just couldn't get the sales or Toys R Us took over, I don't know. Maybe they bought... Oh, what? Are you serious? Are you actually serious? Wow. That AI seems to have got worse. Like, that was... The guy was indicating, he pulled up in the lane, and then he must have looked in his mirror and gone, yeah, I can see a truck coming right at me. I can see he's got a car next to him. I can see he can't move over. I know. I'll wait to the very last minute, and then I'll pull out. But yeah, I don't know if Toys R Us bought Toy and Hobby, or bought the name, or took over the branches, maybe. I don't know. Don't know the history. I just remember Toy and Hobby. So, what in other news, I went to an event the other day, an event in London from Frontier. Now, you probably know Frontier. Frontier are the people that make Elite Dangerous, and they are launching a new game, which, I might add, I backed summer last year. I think I backed this game. It's called Planet Coaster, and Planet Coaster is, if you like, the successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I think it is, and Roller Coaster Tycoon World, like that series of game, which, you know, if you draw the line back in history, will take you back towards theme park and that kind of thing. Essentially, it's a kind of game where you build a theme park with roller coasters in it, and you have people coming into your park, and they buy tickets, they go around, they buy ice creams in your ice cream stores, they get on your rides. If the rides are too aggressive, like some people will be too frightened to go on them, or if they make them sick, they'll get off and throw up, and then you need to get your janitors in there to clean up. It's that kind of game. But Planet Coaster is like a full-on 3D reimagining of the whole genre. Because Roller Coaster Tycoon World and that kind of thing were all like isometric 3D. I say isometric. You could spin around it, but essentially it was block. You know, everything was like a grid that you built on. And they're bringing this game out called Planet Coaster. And they, you know, like I say, I backed it last summer anyway, and then they sent me an email and said, look, you know, we know you from Elite Dangerous. Would you like to, you know, come to this event and have a look at Planet Coaster? And I was like, are you kidding me? Absolutely. Like, I stream Roller Coaster Tycoon World, and I also play games like City Skylines on stream. I don't make videos of them, but I do stream them because I like them. They're interactive and fun, and they're kind of a nice break away from the world of simulators. You know, I kind of like those sandboxy games. Anyway, I'm getting to the point here. Excuse me. They invited me over to this event, so I went down there and I recorded like an hour's footage of Planet Coaster. And the game releases, if you're watching this, the game releases on Tuesday, I think it is, in alpha. So it's like the alpha 1 release, and it is very restricted what it will do. So they're doing it like Elite Dangerous. If you remember when Elite came out, it came out in like an alpha, and it had, you know, limited stuff that you could do, and then they progressively enhanced it. Then it moved up to a beta, they added a lot more stuff, and then eventually it moved up to release. They're doing the same thing with Planet Coaster. And I got some footage from the alpha build, but I'm not allowed to put it out until Monday. So on Monday, cracky, what are you on, the 18th, I mean 19, 20, 20th, 19, 20, 21st, Monday the 21st I think it is, I'll be putting out a video. Oh my guy's yawning, I better pull in. I'll be putting out a video of Planet Coaster and showing you some of the early footage. I'll get some fuel over here. That I recorded. I have to say, I think it's going to be an incredible game. It's going to be an incredibly fun game. Wow, look, I did pull in. Look at my fuel. Good grief. It is full 3D. The rides in it are incredible. You know, you can actually see the weight of the rides in, like, the pirate ships and stuff. You can see the weight of the ride as it swings. The physics are modeled really well. Okay, let's pull up over there. I hope this delivery has got this planned in. Yeah, it's fine. 5:36. It does mean we're driving through the night, unfortunately, because I think at the time of day, yeah, we'll probably wake up in the small hours of the morning. Celavi. Let's pull up over here. Oh, the brakes. There we go. Engine off. Lights off. And good night. 3:24 AM. The wind generator is still spinning. The beetles are still rubbing their wings, apparently. Or the grasshoppers, or wherever they are. Actually, in Spain, they're cicado beetles. I think over in the States, they're probably, are they like grasshoppers or locusts or something? But in the Spain, they're what they call cicado beetles, and they rub their wings together. Put the lights on. And that's what makes that funny noise. They communicate with each other. I think they do it when they're hot. That's why you always hear it in the day, because they rub their wings together to cool themselves down. I'm surprised you can hear it at night, though, like this. They usually shut up at night, because it's quite cool. What was I saying? So Planet Coaster, yeah, is amazing. You'll see my video on Monday. I'll show you the footage that I got. Like I say, it is an alpha, so it's not a release game or anything, but really cool, really fun. So look out for that video on Monday. Excuse me, crikey, this cold. I can feel my nose kind of filling up right now. Like, at the end of this, I'm going to need to go and blow my nose. So yeah, so in terms of, like, series, you may have noticed as well, I've got a new YouTube banner. I don't know if you spotted that. Oh, come on, dude, I just pulled in! You don't drive past me in the middle of the night and ask me to pull in like that. Oh my god. I just pulled in, I could have got weighed there. And the scumbag cop is like, yeah. Go and weigh yourself, squirrel. You've eaten too many nuts. Outrageous. There we go. And we're on our way. So yeah, in terms of like series and stuff, people are saying, oh, you know, have you stopped making Euro Truck? No, I've not. Have you stopped making ONSI? No, I've not. Have you stopped making Train Sim? No, I've not. Like, seriously. Just because I don't put out a video on something doesn't mean to say I've completely canned the series. If I'm gonna can the series, I'll just tell you. I'll just say so. I'll just say, look, you know, like I did with Car Mechanic Sim, I just came out and went, look, Car Mechanic Sim's done. I'm done with it. Especially the new one. The new one is incredibly grindy. I mean, they made it too grindy. I lost interest when I realised just how long it was going to take me to get just even a paint shop or something. It was fun while it lasted, Car Mechanic Sim, but the new one I didn't like at all. Actually, I didn't really agree with the way they sold that either. Do you remember? Like, the first Car Mechanic came out, and what they then did was they decided they were going to kickstart the second one. And it wasn't really a kickstart. There wasn't kickstarting it at all. The game was already going to be released, like the new one, but they're a bit cheeky. They created a Kickstarter campaign and said, oh yeah, you can pay $10 now. And, well, the game's going to be released anyway, it's nearly done, but you can pay $10 on the Kickstarter, and then when it comes out, like, it'll be $15 or something like that. And I was thinking, that's probably not illegal, but it just didn't feel like, it didn't feel like it was keeping with the feeling of a Kickstarter. Like, the idea of a Kickstarter campaign is, hey, you know, we've got this great idea, we really want to make this product, this game, or whatever it is, even this toy. we want to make this thing, and we're looking for backers, like, to believe in our vision. We don't have the money, we need the money, this is how much we need. If you back these different amounts, we'll give you these benefits. That's a Kickstarter. And if it doesn't get backed, like, what was that other one, that other mechanic game that was coming out? It had a Kickstarter and it didn't work. It didn't get enough money. Street Tuning Legal, that one didn't get backed. So that was it. They're like, okay, well, we didn't get enough backers, we'll go and do something else. That was it. That's a Kickstarter. It lives and dies by the backers. Like, if it doesn't get enough backing, it falls by the wayside. It doesn't get done. Whereas this thing, this car mechanic sim, was getting done. It was already being developed. It was nearly finished. They just put a Kickstarter out effectively to get pre-sales. Which I consider to be, like I say, I'm sure Kickstarter, the website, were like, okay, that's fine, you can do that. But I don't think that was keeping in spirit of a Kickstarter myself. So I didn't really like that, but it didn't bother me because I'd already, like, I started to play the game and just went, nah. I did the first few missions and realised how long it would take to get stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, if you've got 80 hours on tap, then maybe you can get close to finishing this game, but that's not me. I don't have that amount of time to focus on one thing. I'll play a number of sims, and you know, I have to spread my time between them. Sometimes I have to spread, like, my time thinly between them. But I do what I can. I try to restrict the number of games that I focus on, because each one I add will just bring in more problems in terms of my available time. But unfortunately suffer from the problem that I just like sims. I like simulators. I like sandbox type stuff, and I just like playing different things, you know? Some days I wake up and I'm like, oh, I really fancy playing some trucking. And other days I wake up, I'm like, you know what, I've not driven a train for a while, I quite fancy doing a train. And that's the way it is, and I think that's better anyway. Like, this morning I got up and I was like, I really want to jump back in a truck and just talk nonsense for 30 minutes or whatever this video is going to be. And I think that's better. It's better for me and it's better for you. If I try to constrain myself by saying, hey, you know, I'm always going to have a truck video out on Monday, I'm always going to have a bus video out on Tuesday, I'm always going to have a train video out on Wednesday. If I try to do that, then not only do I put pressure on myself to do it, but if I just don't feel like making a game, like, sometimes I just don't want to drive a train. And if I'm like, oh, well, yeah, but I've said I'd make a video on a train on Wednesday, you know, it's not going to come across well, is it? I'm going to sit, you're going to hear it in my voice, I'm just not enjoying it. Like, what is the point of that? We're all here for a bit of fun, to enjoy ourselves, to pass the time, to do leisure activities. That's what this is all about. And if I'm not enjoying it or you're not enjoying it, what is the point? So that's the reason I don't do that. I think, like I say, things could be different if I just focused on YouTube or I just focused on Twitch. If I did that, I think I could do something, because I could. Let's just say, for argument's sake, I only did YouTube. Then what I could do is build up quite a big buffer of videos. I would have at least 5 days a week just for recording, and then 2 days I could just have off with the family. I could do that, and I could focus on building up a buffer of videos. Like, if I could have 2 or 3 train sim videos on the go, bus sim videos, truck videos, and then I could schedule them and always make sure I always had a trucking video on a Monday and a train on a Wednesday. I could do that. But I don't. I do YouTube and Twitch. I like both. And with Twitch, I do have to keep to a schedule, even though, like today, I've cancelled my stream because there just are not enough hours in the day, and I said, look, I haven't done a video in a week, I've got to go and do YouTube. So I cancelled my stream today so that I could make YouTube content. But I don't like the fact that I've not put out many videos at all. I don't like it, I hate it, but I took ill, so what can I do? But if I had a buffer of videos, I would never hit that problem, because I could take 3 days off ill and you wouldn't notice, because I've got videos scheduled to go out for the next 2 weeks, which is what a lot of the bigger YouTubers do. They have stuff that's already scheduled for the next 2 weeks. That maintains the continuity. That makes perfect sense. If I could get to a point where I could create that buffer, happy days. But I've not managed it yet. Are we here already? Blimey. Yeah, we are as well. Carlsbad. I've talked nonsense for so long, I've actually arrived at the destination, and I've actually surprised myself. That's incredible. Alright, Carlsbad, what are we looking at? Water tank, could be a train. I can see a crane over there. Is that a... This can't be a building site, surely. I would have thought it's more likely to be possibly rail export. Not really sure. I don't see a rail. Maybe it is a construction site. There's a bunch of houses here, so it's not going to be rail. I didn't actually look what kind of place it was. It's definitely looking like that building site right now. There's a blimp up there, look at that. How do we get in? It's a right turn. Plaster and Sons, yeah, it is a building site. Okay. Not sure why they would need so much water here, but whatever. Where are we parking, sir? Where are we parking? There we are. Oh, hang on. Okay. I think we'll just do a loop around here. I was thinking of reversing it back in from the entrance, but I think this is easier. Get you back into it, son. You can do it. Go on. Hing. What's that guy doing? It's like he's scratching his head. He's like, I'm sure I had 1,000 bricks, and now I've only got 800. Relatively straightforward reverse, I think. Although this trailer is super, super long. Yeah, if I was in the Kenny right now, I would really be struggling. Honestly, the wheelbase of that Kenny on top of something like this, it is not fun. But even this, it's such a long wheelbase, you've got to get those rear wheels into position quite quickly. And the problem is I've got this stuff to my right here that I'm almost running over those cables, so let's pull forward a bit. There we go. Need to miss that. Yeah, I can't maintain the turn now, look. Okay, I think what we're going to have to do... This is insanely long. We're going to have to go over here. There's just not enough room in the yard, that's a problem. And do that. Now I think we should have enough space on our left side this time. Yep. Let's hold that steady. There we go. Hold it steady and then turn it in. That should ding. Oh yeah, like a glove. Brakes on, detached trailer. Be cool at this point if you had to get out of the truck and go and detach all the hoses and stuff and then, you know, wind the legs down, all that kind of thing. It would add to the experience, I think. Hey, that's not bad. We're almost level 10. Money in the bank is now 28. Let's have a look at that now. That's come down to 377. 4 payments paid. Let's double check, see if anybody started to earn any more money. Yep, that's gone from 1,700 to 2,000 average. That's still at 17. Focusing on long distance still. That's fine. He's got 2 points. When he gets to 3, I'm going to switch him out. And we'll start taking like the high value stuff and the just in time stuff. So we'll get those points. That'll get him some extra dosh. Meanwhile, we're on a bit of a saving spree. And then I'll have to make a decision about whether to switch to the Kenny like I keep threatening to, because it is a lovely, lovely truck. Or just keep saving and trying to expand. Depends how we want to do it. The upgrade from this to a Kenny may not be so bad, I don't know. So maybe we'll do that. Anyway, that is the end of this episode of Trucking Diaries. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Like I say, sorry I didn't have many videos out. I shall rectify things next week. And don't forget, that Planet Coaster video is coming out as well next week, so don't miss that. Should look really cool. Until then, take care, guys. Happy trucking.